You know when you're walking through the pharmacy and you see a box of Colace or some other stool softener, and you kind of wonder, what does that actually do? Well, today we're going to dive into Docusate. It's a medication so many of us have heard of, but honestly, very few really get how it works. So let's get right into it.
First things first, we've got to talk about the core problem Docusate is built to solve. Because for millions of people, that simple, totally natural act of straining to go to the bathroom, it isn't just uncomfortable, it can be a real, genuine medical risk.
And that really is the key, isn't it? This whole topic isn't just about feeling a little blocked up. For certain people, avoiding that internal pressure, that strain, is absolutely crucial for their health and their ability to heal properly.
So who are we talking about here? We'll take a look. If you've just had surgery, straining can literally tear your stitches. For a new mom, it's all about protecting very delicate tissues as they heal. And for someone with a heart condition, that spike in blood pressure you get from straining, it's called the Valsalva maneuver, that can be incredibly dangerous.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Now, let's bring in the solution, Docusate. But here's the thing you have to remember. This is not your typical, super aggressive laxative. It's a very specific tool designed for a very specific job.
The most important part is right here in the definition. See that last line? It does not stimulate a bowel movement. A stool softener's only job, its only mission, is to change the stool's consistency, making it softer so it's just easier to pass. It's designed to work with your body, not against it.
And this right here, this explains the biggest point of confusion for a lot of people. A stimulant laxative, over on the right, is like setting off an alarm clock in your gut. It pokes the nerves in your colon to make them contract and just force everything out. Docusate, on the left, does absolutely none of that. Its whole purpose is prevention, not aggressive intervention.
So how in the world does it actually pull this off? Well, the science is actually pretty cool, and it all starts with a little journey down to the colon.
Honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. You know how dish soap breaks up grease on a dirty plate? Docusate does something surprisingly similar, but inside your body.
Now, the sciencey term for this is a surfactant, but don't let that word intimidate you. All it means is that it's a substance that acts like a bridge. It breaks down the wall between water and a solid, in this case, hard, dry stool, and lets them mix together.
So let's just walk through it. Step 1, you take the Docusate and it makes its way down to your colon. Step 2, that surfactant power goes to work, lowering the surface tension of the stool. Step 3, this new lower tension allows the water and fats that are already in your system to soak in. And finally, step 4, the stool becomes much softer and easier to pass without any of that dangerous straining.
I absolutely love this quote because it just nails it. It's not adding some weird foreign substance. It's just letting your body's own moisture do the work, moisturizing from the inside out. It's a pretty elegant solution when you think about it.
All right, so now that we've got a handle on the how, let's circle back to the who. What are the specific situations that really call for this unique, gentle approach?
Okay, so you'll recognize those top 3. We've talked about them. But look at that fourth one. Docusate is often given right alongside opioid painkillers, which are famous for causing constipation. So you use it to prevent the problem before it can even start. And here's a fun little bonus fact. Those same surfactant properties, they also make it useful for softening up impacted earwax. Who knew?
Okay, let's finish up with the really practical stuff. If you, or maybe someone you care for, is thinking about using Docusate, here's the essential guide to using it safely and making sure it actually works.
So it comes in a few different forms. You've got your standard capsules and liquids, which are the most common, and then there are also rectal enemas for a more direct, faster-acting approach. But I want you to pay close attention to that last column for the oral versions.
Yes, you're seeing that right. 12 to 72 hours. This is so important to understand. Docusate is not a quick fix. It's not a rescue medication. It can take anywhere from 1 to 3 days to start working because it has to travel all the way through your system. This is not what you reach for when you need relief right now.
Now for some good news. It's incredibly well tolerated. As you can see, the vast majority of people, about 80%, have no side effects at all. And for the small group that does, it's usually something pretty mild, like a little cramping or diarrhea.
Okay, everybody, listen up, because this is the big one. This is the most critical safety warning. Do not, under any circumstances, take Docusate with mineral oil.
Because Docusate is so good at helping things mix, it can actually cause your body to absorb the mineral oil, which can be really harmful. So just remember, never take these two together.
And finally, a little bit of common sense safety. Docusate is really meant for short-term use, like for a week or less. If you rely on it for too long, your body can become dependent. And, of course, if you're having any severe pain or sudden changes that last more than a couple of weeks, that's your cue to stop and call a doctor, because it might be something more serious.
So what's the big takeaway here? Let's boil it all down. Docusate isn't some powerhouse laxative. It is a gentle, safe, short-term tool designed for one very specific purpose: to prevent straining when it's medically important to do so.
And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. While a gentle fix like Docusate is an amazing tool to have for short-term situations, if you're dealing with a persistent problem, that always calls for a conversation with your doctor to figure out the root cause. A gentle fix is great, but it's no substitute for long-term health.